Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us on time. I always say that, but I would like to always mention that I appreciate people who join on time and are engaged with the session from the beginning. So thank you, everybody. We'll be starting in a minute. So please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat, include your name, where you're joining us from, and your business. And then we'll get started. Thank you.
Hi, this is Preeti Bedi from Condi Floor from India. We are into sustainable fragrance and skincare products. Looking forward to connect with everybody.
Thank you, Preeti. But yeah, it would be nice also to leave that in the chat for everybody who joins later, and then with your links and contact details. They will get deleted at the end of the session, but at least people can connect directly with you on LinkedIn or whatever other social platforms you have. All right, so we'll get started. I see that people are still joining us. So as usual, the session is being recorded, so you'll get to watch it again later anytime you want. And for those of you who are here, you know that this is a session that we ran one time before, and we had technical difficulties, and this is the main reason why I'm running it again. So our topic today is basically digital marketing strategies that focus on e-commerce entrepreneurs. So as you know, digital marketing is a very large field, and when you get started in the beginning, or even at the point when you want to revise your strategy, people can get a little bit overwhelmed with the different options that you might have, where to get started, what are the priorities. And specifically, when we talk about small businesses or e-commerce entrepreneurs doing this for the first time, it's important to keep in mind that we don't have unlimited budget, and we really want to know where it's important to focus and where to put our time and effort. So this is mainly why we are here today. So what we'll cover today is building an online presence. We'll focus on what is important about this, what are the priorities, and we'll look at some examples, which I always find very interesting because you get to see what other people are doing, and sometimes it gives you a lot of ideas for your own brand and business. We will also check how to leverage social media, how to use it for e-commerce businesses. We look at cost-effective advertising and growth hacking strategies, which is going to be a little like introduction, because it's a field on its own and it's not really connected to digital marketing in a way. It's just an experimentation approach, and we will cover that. And then, as always, we'll end with a Q&A. So if you get any questions in the meantime, just feel free to leave them in the chat, and then we can answer them or tackle them at the end of the session. All right, so if I were to ask you, what does a strong digital presence, why does a strong digital presence matter? What would be the first thing that would come to your mind? You can answer in the chat. I will give you a couple of seconds to think about it. Not a lot of time, but we kind of have certain preconceived ideas. And definitely the field has changed through time. We used to use social media platforms in the beginning in a very advertorial way. I remember the time where we used to post twice a day. That was when we got started in the field, and then it was all basically product centered. And with time, I think a little bit we lost our way in a way that we forgot that these platforms are actually communities. These are platforms where people come to connect, be inspired, connect with their friends. And we started using them as our own personal platform for promotions of products and services. And definitely with time, the platforms have changed, the algorithms have changed, a lot of things came and went. I guess a lot of platforms started and didn't continue, but we remain doing the same thing the same way. So what I want to get from this webinar is a little bit of a mentality change or mindset change, and to focus more on speaking to consumer, speaking with them instead of speaking at them. This is a little bit the tricky part in any usual way of doing advertising. So if you want to talk about why does a strong digital presence matter? First of all, the main thing is brand credibility and trust. I'm sure you already know that many people would do a little bit of research, assuming they know, for example, what they want to buy. They will go through a research, checking the reviews, checking the different brands that offers the product or service that they want, and then they will actually go to the store if there is a physical store, or go to the website and buy. So 81% of consumer research a business online, and this is a very, very high percentage. So if you don't have a good, strong digital presence and a good website, you're already losing these 81% of consumers. And what they look for is they want to see a well-optimized website and active social media presence. So we will talk about what does a well-optimized website look like in a bit, and we'll look at brand examples on social media presence. But they need to find all of these, and it needs to speak to them. It needs to resonate with them. And this is another kind of hurdle in the strong digital presence aspect. Second point is that it gives you 24/7 availability and reach. So let's say you're already closed. Any person who's doing e-commerce already knows that. They can check, they can do the research, they can take the brand name, then research it on a forum later. They can do all of these things. And now with the additional the AI revolution, we need to think in the near future as well in terms of having this your brand being visible to AI tools, because now people are starting to ask AI like ChatGPT for recommendation on brands and products, for recommendation on what to buy, and with the recent updates, it's linking directly to the links of the website or the product description on the site. So, and with time, we need to consider also having these visible to AI algorithms. So that's the next step. Third point is that it's important for customer engagement and relationship building. So we need to think about everything that we do these days, not about just the sales, but about building relationships. So your presence on social media, your website, all of these things should have a relationship approach to your consumers and not a sales approach. So we need to look at the content differently. We need to approach our relationship or content marketing strategies a little differently as well. So brands that actively engage with their audience, meaning they ask them questions, they know them, they build this relationship, and get to like build a network or connection with the audience, are the ones that are more likely to succeed with e-commerce on the long term. I think is that it gives you a competitive advantage. It's true that anyone can build an online presence, but not everyone can be genuine, honest, and transparent about their products, their businesses, and their story, if you want, the reason they created their business. So this is a competitive edge where you can place yourself as a small business, but also consumer behavior has changed. People are now looking for smaller brands, more authentic brands to buy from, brands that have a sustainability aspect or that usually give back to their communities, because at the end of the day, they will sleep better at night knowing that they have contributed to something that is a little bit larger than themselves. And the last point here is that it's better marketing and sales opportunities. So all of this online presence will allow you to get more clients, to get the right clients, and this is something very important. And at the end of the day, drive sales. So we've talked about why is it important? What does it cover? So when we talk about strong online presence, what does it mean? First of all, it means a professional, user-friendly website. It needs to be fast. It needs to be mobile responsive. That means it needs to open on your phones, on your tablets, on all different formats that the user might use, and it needs to be easy to navigate. So sometimes we see like these good products, good brands, but with websites that are so overwhelming that at the end of the day, you don't even know what you're buying. And I've seen this with very big brands. I've seen this with like really big companies. So it doesn't mean that maybe it's a strategy, but there are a lot of examples of good brands that do not do this very well. Second point is the SEO optimized content. Now, if you are in the e-commerce business, you might have done SEO optimization in the beginning when you opened your website, but that's not enough. If you're relying on content marketing, if you're relying on getting traffic, you need to have an SEO optimized strategy for content marketing so you can keep driving traffic to your website. That traffic will in turn convert into sales and clients. So this SEO optimized content will help customers find you. Usually we need to think about answering some burning questions, helping them make decisions on product, but most overall just be seen as a thought leader or as an expert on the sector that you are working in. You need to also have active social media accounts. This is not new, you already know this. And one thing that a lot of e-commerce businesses miss is to having consistent branding across all platforms. So once you have that recognizable identity, people would just start remembering you from just your photos, your logos, your color, your the way you do photography. I was looking the other day at so you know the for me, for example, the best brand in terms of doing branding very well is Coca-Cola. So they've done this for years. They've maintained a good branding consistency for years. And of course, we're talking about big company, big budget. But this is an example that we can all take some elements of it. And it's not very hard to maintain branding consistency across all of your platforms. It's just the colors, the palette, the photography, all of these things that really make a lot of difference. But there was a time in branding where we thought that Coca-Cola was very courageous because they did a big campaign without even adding their logo to it. So it was on the bottle, it was on the very well-known sound that you do when you open a Coca-Cola bottle, and then when you pour it, just hearing it will automatically create that connection in your mind. So I saw that recently they did campaign as well on billboards without logo, without name, just the shadow of the bottle. So the bottle is so iconic that the shadow of it just create the same mental association, and everybody knew that it was Coca-Cola. Because of the colors, the color of the background, then the shadow of the bottle. So this is the kind of aspiration you want to get at. Of course, we don't have the same budget, but that consistency will make this every time people see your post on social media, they will automatically recognize it. Their brain will automatically recognize it without really you having to say who you are. And the last point on that is a regular content update. So you need to keep bringing awareness to you. So if you don't post, if you don't create content, if you don't speak to your consumers, they will forget about you and move on to the next best thing. Whatever that is, again, depending on if your product sells, if you solves a problem or the product that you're selling actually is a pleasure buy more than solving a problem. So all of these things will make a difference in terms of how you would approach content marketing, but that does not mean that content marketing is not absolutely needed. So here I want to highlight a very interesting brand. I like it a lot when we have like creative solutions to a lot of things that were previously. I mean, as far as I know, when I used to wear glasses, I always used to buy my glasses at a shop. Never I thought about buying glasses online. Like we are speaking here about prescription glasses, but also like sunglasses. And this is a very interesting brand because it has a very creative approach to online sales. So it's a direct-to-consumer eyewear brand. So they sell directly to consumers, and it's really known for disrupting the industry with really affordable, stylish glasses that are sold online. So it is easy to conceive probably of how they were able to do the affordable, stylish glasses, but the sales of the online element is the one that is really interesting, and I wanted to like highlight here. So if any one of you wears glasses, you would know what is the main issue people face when they buy glasses online. So imagine having to, maybe we can know our sizes in clothes, maybe we can like replicate certain softwares that will let us imagine how if you're buying a couch, it will look like in your apartment. But glasses have always been an issue for people to buy online. So what they did, and this is basically their value proposition, which is their main offering to customers, is two things. One is high quality, affordable, and they have a home try on option. So what you do is you actually pick 5 pairs from the products that they have, and you can and you they ship them to you for you to try on, and you have absolutely no obligation to keep any one of them. So you can keep one, you can keep two, but you can return all 5 together. So one thing about buying glasses online is, of course, the prescription, but also you don't know how it will look on your face, and this is one of the main issue. So they solved that problem by offering this. Of course, there are the elements of cost that would be associated with shipping back and forth the product and the return, but they were able to integrate it in one way or another in the pricing, and it still keeps the products affordable, so it's not very expensive. And what they do as well is they offer a seamless online experience with a lot of good branding and customer engagement. I will look at some examples. So the try at home option is, you, as I said, you pick 5 frames. Shipping is free both ways, so you don't have to worry about that. You can try them for 5 days. You can actually wear them, and then return the box and order your favorite if you have a favorite. Also, what they wanted to do is to help you know what would work with you, and really possibly reduce the amounts of home try-ons that end up without buying just because you don't know what works for you. So they have style quiz. They let you answer a few questions so you would know, for example, what is your style, what would work on you, the form of your face, and all of these things that will actually let you know what kind of frames would work on you. They also updated recently to an AI-based or virtual reality based software that allows you to see, you can see on the picture here, that allows you to see how the frames would look on your face in real time. And another nice thing I like it about this brand is the way they do their marketing. So sometimes they have creative things, or they try to do interesting memes that would possibly have like a shareable aspect. And this is one you can see here. So a friendly reminder to book your annual eye exam so you don't miss any red flags in 2025. So they don't actually talk about red flags. It's just the relationship red flags that are really not associated with how well your site is. So yeah, this is an example of the test. You can see woman, men style. So this is really the start of the test, and then one of the questions is the shape of your face, and then you can also send the results to yourself. So if you don't know if you want to actually try the try at home option, or you're not ready to make your choices, you can send it to yourself. But also what they do is that they use this to collect leads, and then they would send you a series of emails that would keep them top of mind, and they can convert you into an actual customer somewhere down the line. So you'd see that the way they approach this is not about selling now, it's about building that relationship, helping you solve an issue when it comes to buying affordable, stylish eyewear. And then if you look at their menu, the way it's optimized on the website, you see that it's very nicely divided between the different categories. So you have blue light, progressive, anti-fatigue, light responsive, and different lens options. And then you can look at $95 frames, which is also a good category to have on its own, because if people are price sensitive, this is what they would go and look for. So yeah, eyeglasses, sunglasses. Yeah, so this is one good example of a way a brand was able to disrupt an industry by being a little bit risk takers and thinking outside the box. So that brings us a little bit to the second part of the session, which is website essential for e-commerce. So we've talked about it in general when we talked about a good online presence, but we'll go a little bit more in depth here. So you need to have a fast loading speed. This is something you can check for your website on Google PageSpeed Insights. So you can check how fast it loads on desktop, how fast it loads on mobile. Usually, if your numbers are a bit too high, that means this is because your images are not optimized. This is usually what happened with e-commerce, because we tend to have a lot of product images, and they affect the way the website loads and how fast it is. But this can be easily solved, usually by trying, I mean, easy, yes, it might take some time, but you have to save them in a different, smaller format. And if you're doing it, you might as well do the same and optimize the meta tags and the meta description and the title tags on the images. So you can do this in one shot if you have not done this in the beginning when you launched your e-commerce store. And this is again the same point for SEO friendly content. So all of your products pages need to be SEO optimized. And your About Us page, your home page, all of these things. Although in terms of being very realistic, that will not work in terms of getting traffic. So there's a lot of misconceptions from e-commerce entrepreneurs where they open their website and everybody will come. But that's rarely the case. So you need to, because your website is new, Google does not know it. So you need to create content, add blog posts, do newsletters, all of these things to improve its ranking and to improve a little bit the what we call can't remember the name now. Ranking authority, sorry, that Google has. So new website will have a very low authority, and with time, the more traffic you build, the more you have customers or visitors that come back time and time again. It will improve this authority, and then it will start improving your ranking. You need to also have mobile responsive design. We've talked about this. Another element that entrepreneurs miss is a clear call to action. So it needs to be a very well said. I mean, if we're talking about product pages, of course, a call to action will be easy to find or easy to guess what it is, but it needs to so you need to have a call to action on other pages as well. And easy navigation and checkout process. So easy navigation is an example of having a good clear menu, having pages or categories that connect together, so people will keep on looking and exploring more and more categories. Checkout process is of course something very easy without you having to complete a zillion forms in order to be able to pay for your product. So we look here at some good examples of e-commerce website. So the first one here, you can see the product is very highly visible in the banner. It's clear. You automatically know what you're looking at when you visit the website, and it has a very strong call to action with that was probably a temporary campaign, the summer sale, but the call to action is visible, and on their homepage as well, they have a very clear listing of all of the options or all of what makes this brand their value proposition. So they can help you find your size. They offer free shipping, easy return, and you can pay in 4 times. So these are all of the things that usually people consider when they're buying from a brand for the first time. Another great example I liked in the way they displayed the product. So you'll see the very high quality photo of the bike. You'll see it from different angles, and here you'll see it also in context, which is always very interesting, because you can so consumers that can actually imagine themselves and project themselves on the bike. And every time, I mean, it's not looking here, but every time you click on different color, the color will actually change. So you'll see it on the bike and not imagine how it will look like in purple or in uh, uh, dark, like whitish. Another example for people who love coffee, I think this is a good example. You'll see the product very well. So the image is clean. It will give you the tasting notes here. And then you can select the size that you want. And that would change depending on the product. But it's a very neatly presented instead of you actually zooming in on the product and reading the label. It's clearly listed here, and you can see the reviews, which is always a good indication that people like your product. And then you can select the actual grind that you want. So you want the whole bean, you want it for French press, you want it for espresso, whatever it is, you can customize it here. So yeah, this is a very good brand for coffee lovers. This is also another example. The reason I selected this one is because every time you would click on the different colors of the same one, you would see an actual different model wearing the new design, and then you would see it in different pictures. But also, like, you have a size guide, which sometimes brand miss, and that you have a very strong, like here, incentive to buy, which is buy two full price and get 10% off. Yeah, I mean, people usually always need this a little bit of push to buy. Again, depending on what kind of brand you are, sometimes you don't need to do that. But if you have like a long, like a big portfolio of products, it's always recommended to give them, especially for first-time customers, sorry. This is also another example of very minimalistic website. I love it because you can see like the products front and center on the above the fold banner. Yeah, this is very, very appealing. Sorry. All right, so we've talked about websites and how fast like the importance of having a good responsive website. We'll move on to branding consistency and why is it important across all platforms. One main thing is that customers are 3 to 4 times more likely to recognize and trust a brand that has consistency, whether this is a psychological decision or a response to recognizing the brand, or because they know already. This is not the point here. The point is the more consistent you are, the more they feel that they know you. And this is very important. It also enhances customer experience. So if you're doing, for example, I've seen this happen a lot of time. Some brands would do a campaign on social media, and for example, the campaign is redirecting to the website. So they would click on that ad, so consumer would click on that ad and land on a website that has a completely different branding or completely different messaging than what is available on the ad. So automatically what they do is they think they clicked on the wrong click, or now that consumers are more aware, they feel like they have been fished into a wrong website and automatically leave. So that would increase the number of bouncing rate on your website, which is also important for your ranking. You need to have a low bounce rate on the website. So having this seamless experience in terms of the branding that connects from website to social media platforms is very, very important. So I cannot emphasize this enough. After that, it really strengthens your marketing effectiveness. So that, for example, is exactly what I mentioned. So let's say people clicked on your ad and then went to your website, and it's different. Then you're spending money on ads that are actually not converting. It serves both points as an example. So, what are the different elements that are important in terms of maintaining branding consistency across all platforms? So you need to have logos and colors. So we need to maintain the same logo placement, color palette, and design elements on all platforms. Of course, you can integrate certain stuff in your brand and your content and your social media posts, as long as it has consistency across all of the logos and branding and color palette and design elements. Typography and visuals, we really is very underestimated in terms of how much fonts make a difference. But using the same font and using the right font is very important to maintain this branding consistency. Photography style, of course, that could be changed in terms if you have, I don't know, summer collection, winter collection, or you have like different times where we release different capsules. That could be different as well. But as long as you maintain it for all the duration, this is very important. And again, image filters across all your website. You don't want to have like a romantic filter and another one that has a black and white filter. So it's very, very drastic. Tone of voice. Again, if font is underestimated, the tone of voice is even more underestimated. So if you use a formal, playful, casual, or any tone of voice, it should remain unique and uniform in all of your touch points in terms of social media, emails, customer interaction. Even your customer service should follow the same brand voice. And last, messaging and taglines. So your core messages and taglines should remains the same across all content. Of course, again, if you have like a different platform, a different collection, that could change, but your core message should remain the same. So what are certain best practices for maintaining brand consistency? You need to create a brand guidelines. So you decide on your logo usage, on your colors, fonts, and tone of voice, and have a branding guide for all of your team and anyone working with you, even as a consultant or as an intern, or if you have like employees. What you can do as well is do social media templates or email templates. So all of these are pre-designed for emails, Instagram posts, or Facebook ads that will help you maintain consistency. Now, the main trick here is that it could become very rigid. You could become very rigid in your marketing, but it will help people get started, and that you can get a little bit creative within the same branding, but maybe move a little elements as well. So you can use Canva for these, as it's very easy to use to maintain uniformity in all of your content. And you need to align your website ads and social media. So your website should match the style and tone of voice of your social media and advertising campaign. For the same example I mentioned before about maintaining trust and for people to know that they are still within the same click they clicked on and that they landed on the actual correct website. So that brings us to the third part of our topic today. So focusing on social media. So why is it important for social media for e-commerce growth? So, as I said earlier, it's no longer a platform for engagement. It's really powerful in sales and brand building tools as well. This is mainly because most platforms have a shop element. Okay, so instead of changing their algorithm or having to drive traffic to third party or e-commerce's website elsewhere, they give options to small businesses, but everyone else as well, to have their online shops on Instagram, on TikTok, on Pinterest. All of these things allow you to do e-commerce without having to have an e-commerce store in case this is easier for you. So you are actually really using a platform that has a lot of traffic to really present yourself as a brand and as a business. So one of the main important reasons is that it's low cost. It allows you to do brand awareness, audience building, and to tell the story of your product or your brand in a way where it's a little bit more complicated to do that on an e-commerce website. Second, it allows you for direct customer engagement and community building. So you can speak to people directly in the chat, in the DMs, or through the content. You can talk about their interests, their values, anything that relates really to your brand. And the last point is that it's a powerful drive for website traffic and sales. So in case you have an e-commerce website as well, it's very important a tool to be able to drive content or drive traffic to your website. Now, again, driving traffic is different when your only content is product related. It's really very hard to get people, oh, buy this product to visit your website. That's why we recommend having a content marketing strategies that goes beyond the product and focuses on your ideal customer. So that if you do that well, there's a very chance that social media becomes the main driver of traffic to your website. So this is one example of Glossier. They built a $1 billion dollar brand almost entirely through Instagram by using what we call user-generated content. So the user-generated content is the content that's created by the user and not by the brand itself. So it kind of works like indirect way of doing marketing. It's really interesting because people are starting to not believe brands the same way they used to. So it's an indirect way of doing marketing. So it's different from influencer marketing because influencer usually get paid, but this is user-generated content, so the actual regular users, regular social media users. And they use interactive engagement like polls, reads, and Q&A, which is something that actually engages because you are actually trying to have a conversation with your consumers or your customers and not telling them this is the best product in the market, you should buy this. So in terms of brand, the value proposition is very clear and very easy. It's a minimalist, high quality beauty products designed for everyday users. So it's not very expensive, it's not very fancy, but it's high quality. And they engage customers by making them part of the brand development process. And I will show you an example in a second. Customers feel that they are part of the brand and not just customers. So this is an example of their social media posts. So you see you have carousels, you have videos. This is all mostly, I mean, these ones are user generated. And all of the other ones, possibly these ones are brand generated. So relying on consumer referring their products has been proven to be more successful than posting their own product. So this is here an example of they asked their followers to choose the shades of product that they want to see. So the consumer actually picked the colors. So this is really interesting. They did a poll, they asked people, and then at the end of the day, they saw the highest vote and they created the product. So this is really interesting because you actually get to choose what you want. So that brings us to choosing the right social media platform for your business. So again, there are many criterias or many factors to keep in mind in the selection process, but usually Instagram and Facebook are best for visual storytelling. So if you intend to create a lot of content, video content, use influencer marketing, this is very interesting, and you have options to do direct sales, so shops, so Instagram shop and Facebook shop. You can choose TikTok and Pinterest if you are good as branding or as a positioning for viral content, or if you are a more niche product. So Pinterest is very undervalued, but it has a lot of traffic and a lot of interest in interior decoration, interior design, DIYs, all of these things is more nichey. So that's why Pinterest is a good option. LinkedIn is for B2B e-commerce and professional credibility as brand. And YouTube and Shorts basically is a type of videos are really powerful for long form products, demos, and short form viral marketing. So if your product is something that requires a demo, we recommend using YouTube, or you want to do viral marketing, you can do Shorts, which is also very similar to TikTok, but instead of being vertical, it's horizontal. And now they adjusted also for the format. So whatever you create on for TikTok, you can use as YouTube Shorts as well. So we're gonna look at an example of Gymshark. So they use TikTok to create viral fitness challenges that drive millions of organic impressions and really boost sales. Okay, so I don't have the actual visuals, but if you want to check it out, it's Gymshark. So they do these challenges, like let's see who can do, I don't know, 1,000 jumping jacks. And people start to generate that content on their own. And they have, like, of course, a reward. No one's going to do 1,000 jumping jacks just for being featured on Gymshark. So let's look at social media strategies for e-commerce businesses. So usually using short form videos are the best in terms of getting the highest engagement. People, as you already know, have a short attention span. So this is why Reels, TikToks, and YouTube Shorts really outperform static content, but really outperform as well long form videos. Doing like behind the scenes, product demos, customer testimonials, all of these things. So as an example, I don't have the pictures, but you can check the brand itself. Fenty Beauty, they use Reels and TikTok tutorials to showcase the product in action. And really, if you already bought the product and you don't know how to use it, that is very educational approach to getting people to build that connection as well. Using user-generated content, so we've talked about it a little bit, and one very good example in terms of UGC is GoPro. So if you go and check out their social media content, it's all about users using the GoPro and editing the videos and sending them to GoPro. So by definition, it has a good use of user-generated content, but that doesn't mean that any regular brand cannot use that. Run engagement and campaigns to do giveaways, challenges, polls. Really, these are very interesting. Starbucks does this every holiday. So they use the hashtag Red Cup Contest, and it encourages users to share holiday cups designs for prices. And then they would choose the best one to be used on the holiday season. Optimize your social media, social commerce features. So because these platforms allow you to buy directly from the page, making your content optimized by adding the shop now on the pictures, or adding the price. If you hover over the picture, you can see the price and then go directly to the Instagram shop and buy from it. And then finally, using influencer marketing, big and micro influencers. I lean more towards micro influencers because it's becoming a little bit less trustworthy in the field to have like big influencers, but try to find someone who has the exact audience that you're looking for. And one great example of how Daniel Wellington started, they started with not like small influencers and micro influencers, and they really built $1 million watch brand using micro influencers. If you any experience in the watch industry, you know it was very hard for new brands to penetrate, especially cheaper brands and more fashion styles. So I think the way they approached it was very successful because they were able to get through the noise and build a good brand, definitely a good brand, but like good branding as well. Now, one question that I get a lot in terms of should I use ads? Should I advertise? I don't have a lot of budget, all of these things. So it's two different approaches depending on what you want to do. So I'm gonna list them here and then you can have like all of the information to make your decision. So you can do organic growth, which is low cost and long-term strategy. So you don't have to have like a big KPIs to achieve, but it's more sustainable in the long term. So you do regular posting, you do content creation like blog posts, user-generated content, use hashtags, and you rely on engagement and not sales. So engagement would be comments, Q&As, all of these things that you can do on social media platforms. So this is great for community building, but slower in sales conversion. But more likely the person who will buy after one, if your product is up to the level, they will continue and become long-term customers. Whereas the paid growth, it's immediate sales and it's really targeted reach. But once you stop these, the sales will stop. Now, again, it doesn't mean that the moment you launch your campaign, the product is going to be sold immediately. But at least you can do campaigns for brand awareness. You can do campaigns for lead generation. You can do multiple stuff to be able to build that relationship with your customers, and not necessarily focused on sales. So you can do that to build your email list. But just so you know, the moment you stop it, it will stop. For example, Fashion Nova is a brand that uses two types. So they use organic influencer marketing and they do targeted paid ads to drive like a lot of e-commerce sales. So it doesn't mean that you have to pick one or the other. It just means that I need to tell you so you can be able to manage your expectations properly and not and be disappointed. So let's talk about a little bit. So that would be our last section. I think not really, but we are a little bit behind on time, so I will skip this one and go back to advertising. So when we talk about advertising in terms of social media, we talk about two different things. Sorry, not social media, e-commerce that are really very, very valuable for e-commerce businesses and are less used because we tend to focus on sales a lot. So you have PPCs, which is pay-per-click and retargeting. So pay-per-click advertising and retargeting are really very essential and very core to e-commerce businesses. So pay-per-click is you only pay when someone clicks on your ad. So that actually saves some money. So unless they're really interested and click, you don't have to pay Google or Facebook. And then retargeting ads, it shows your ads to users who have previously visited your site, reminding them to come back, complete a purchase, or buy more, or whatever it is that you're not running in terms of advertising. So these are quite very significant in terms of e-commerce businesses. So where can you do pay-per-click ads? You can do this on Google Ads, search, display, and shopping. All of these things, all of these channels offer a PPC. You can do Instagram and Facebook ads. You can really target very in details in terms of demographics and interest. And you can do TikTok and Pinterest and LinkedIn ads. Really, these are for niche audiences. This is in terms of PPC. For retargeting, you can do this basically on any of these platforms, and mainly the main landing page would be your website. So it helps remind customers to return and will increase conversion rates. So if we talk about pay-per-click, it's very important if you're doing Google advertising to use Keyword Planner to find what we call high intent, low cost keywords. So high intent means that they are actually in the conversion cycle. So they are looking for a specific product and they are ready to buy. And low cost keywords, it means that there is not a lot of competition on the keyword. Another tip I would give you is to focus on long tail keywords, not just say, for example, yoga mats, but use eco-friendly yoga mats. So it means that a person who's looking for that keyword is actually well aware of what they want and more likely to convert. Step 2 is to optimize the ad copy and creative. So use clear and compelling call to actions, shop now, limited offer, include high quality images or videos. And if you want to get a little bit more experimental, you can test different version of your ads, what we call A/B testing. So you'll have the same budget, same everything, except it's one difference, either the copy or the image or the target audience. You can do multiple testing this way. Step 3 is target the right audience. So use demographic and behavioral targeting, whether age, location, interest, or behaviors. And you can exclude irrelevant audiences to avoid wasting your budget. So for example, if you want to do a remarketing campaign or if you want to do a marketing campaign for existing customers, you have to exclude like everyone else. Or if you want to do something for women, you want to exclude men from this audience as well. So that is for PPC. If you want to do retargeting ads, you want to make sure before you do that you have the right tracking pixels. So if you're running a campaign from Facebook to your website, you need to make sure that these two platforms they talk together. And this is what we use on Facebook and Instagram. We use the Metapixel, so it tracks visitors and help show relevant ads. It will remember what product they've visited and will show them the relevant ad on Facebook and Instagram. If you're using Google Ads, you need to use the Google tag. So that helps you retarget users and search on display networks as well. Step 2 is to segment your audience. So there are different ways you can use retargeting ads. One, if you want to target people who abandoned their cart, you can show them special offers to complete the checkout. If you want to target website visitors, so for example, some people who visited and did not buy or did not add to cart, that would be a segment on its own. Or if you want to do campaigns to re-engage past customers and let them know about new products or exclusive discounts, it has to be a different audience as well. And then, of course, you want to offer incentives because this is retargeting. You can do get 10% off, complete your purchase today, hurry, only a few left in stock. This is a scarcity tactic, but just keep in mind that these customers these days are more aware of this thing. They know that this ad will not end today, so they can buy it tomorrow and would still get 10% off. So you want to be a little bit more like depending on your audience. If you're selling stuff that are consumer product like big bulk products, then yeah, you can afford to do these approaches. So in terms of running the campaigns, you want to start small and then scale. Okay, start with a small budget and then based on the performance of the ad, you can increase the budget. Another tip that I have for you is use lookalike audiences. So both Facebook and Google can find new customers similar to your best existing ones. So you can upload the list of your current customers, and based on demographics, analysis of their behaviors, they can help you find new customers. Third point is you want to monitor your return on investment and really adjust the bids. You don't want to be running a campaign for a month and then at the end of the month, because when we do the report, realize that it's not performing well. And you want to possibly do A/B testing, doing different ad formats for your budgeting to know which one works, which one resonates with your audience best. And that brings us to our final section. I realize that it's already time, but we'll cover this a little bit quickly because I always want to talk about growth hacking because it's very experimental and it's very data driven. So it's a data-driven, innovative approach to rapidly growing a business, but really without really expending a lot of money or investing a lot of budget on it. So it uses low-cost, high-impact strategies. So it's a little different from your approach doing traditional marketing because it relies on experimentation, automation, and really virality to scale the business. It has evolved with time. It's no longer just that. It's about also doing rapid experimentation and analyzing results and integrating into your campaigns. But we're going to cover just that, the original way it started. So it involves creativity, analytics, and rapid execution. Usually, it is used by startups and e-commerce brands to achieve scalable growth, and it focuses on customer acquisition, retention, and brand advocacy. So let's look at more examples. Sorry, I went back. One example, and this is how the whole field started. It's with Dropbox. So when they launched the brand, they didn't want to spend a lot of money on ads. So what they did is they used a referral program that rewarded users with extra storage for inviting friends. Now, you might ask me, okay, but everyone does a referral program, and this is how it got started. But what they did is just because they started with it, and they were the first to do that, but also they did it in a very creative way where you had a tracker on your website and you can where is it? Yeah. So you can see a little bit, the more you refer people, the more you get storage. And this was at a time where storage was very expensive. So depending on which activity you do, you get, if you upgrade, you get 50 giga. If you refer a friend, you get 16, 500 per friend. Then if you connect your Facebook account, your Twitter account, all of these things, you get lower storage as well. But this is really interesting because this is how the field started, and they were able to get 3,900 growth in just 15 months. So yeah, this is how this whole approach started, and it's what we call growth hacking. Now it's a little trickier these days to do that, but that's not mean it's not impossible. So you can do a referral or reward program. This is how you incentivize users by discounts, freebies, or perks. This is how Airbnb started as well. You can do gamification and viral loops. A good example of this is Duolingo. So they use like leaderboard and challenges and activities to keep you engaged. You can do what we call also exit intent pop-ups and email capture. So the moment people leave your website, you can have a pop-up that say, "Don't leave us now. Just stay connected with us. Either give us your email, or we like some creative approach to keep them engaged." You can also use scarcity and urgency tactics. So this one use limited time offers or countdowns to encourage impulse purchases. And you can do also automating customer retention. So something that basically with the retargeting, but you use continuously. You don't have to keep recreating campaigns every time to your loyalty program, or if they added to cart and never completed the purchase. So that covers our session for today. Basically, what I want to keep in mind after this is importance of building a strong online presence and how that is related to SEO, user experience, and mobile friendliness. for your site, how to leverage social media effectively through the content and the ads, use cost-effective ad strategies to maximize return on investment. So think about pay-per-click and retargeting, sorry, and think about strategies to implement growth hacking for rapid expansion. I will stop now and stop sharing and then go through the questions. But before, so I can get a few minutes to breathe, I'm going to run a quick ad. You'll see a pop-up on your screen. It's a quick ad, not ad, poll. 6 questions that you can complete to get that's a little bit of feedback on the topic, on the format, on all of these details, and if it was really useful for you to have that webinar. So I'll give you a couple of minutes and I will go through the questions and then we'll answer them. So if you have any questions, just please leave them in the chat. And in the meantime, please complete the poll. Okay, I can see that people started completing the poll, so this is great. I see that we have a few questions. I'm going to start by the beginning, and I promise I will answer all of them. All right. Start from the beginning. Um, I'm happy to see some familiar names and people introducing themselves. And thanks, Edvira, for welcoming everybody. So I can see that first question is basically, what do you mean right client? Can you please define? So I'm assuming this is for one of the strategies we've talked about. So basically, you might have different groups of clients, but when we talk about your ideal customer, we talk about your audience persona. So if you are trying to sell a product that helps solve a problem, then that is like an audience persona. It's really about trying to resonate. So the more you have an in-depth understanding about your ideal customer, the more you can create content, the more you can create slogans and marketing messages that will resonate with them. So this is why it's important to identify who is your ideal customer. It doesn't mean that you will have one ideal customer. It's a group of people that belong to a certain criteria. So you can say, I don't know, I'm just making examples now. Moms with 2 kids who don't have a lot of time for themselves. They work and manage their kids' time and all of these things. So this is a group of customers. It could be the same time, same product can be sold to adult men, for example, that are on the go, that don't have a lot of time to prepare their meals. I'm just making examples. I don't have a product in mind, but this is a customer persona. So if you already know, for example, who is your ideal customer in that way, you can create these marketing messages that are that would resonate with your ideal customer. I hope I answered the question. Let's see. So how to create a brand voice? This is a very long, very complicated question, but usually it's aligned with your branding. So if you're, for example, you are, I will show you a good example of a brand voice and a good branding. So an example I use all the time, it's the Copy Posse. Let me just find it 1 second. So actually, she's a copywriter. So her whole business is to write copy for brands. So I'm gonna send you the link to her Instagram account. Just as an example, you can also check her website, but basically it's a great example of a good brand voice. So she's very friendly, very upbeat, very energetic in terms of the brand voice. Other example could be a playful brand voice. You could be very serious as well. You can, for example, have your own words that you use every time. It would build that connection. So you decide where you want to be depending on who you are as a brand. But the important part is to remain consistent, not once being extremely friendly and another time being very strict and serious. Yeah, it's very much related to your brand and who you are as a brand. Okay, let's see. Other questions? Okay, does social media alone can drive traffic without having website and how? So I guess my question for you here, you want to drive traffic where if you don't have a website? Can you let us know if you can reply? That would be very useful so I can answer the question correctly. How can we create engaging user-generated content? So actually, you don't create user-generated content. You create the relationship with your customers so that they create this content. And this is what we say is user-generated. So in the past, for example, we used to do a lot of campaigns saying, share with us your moment of using our product. This does not work the same way it does before. You can do campaigns, you can do giveaways, you can encourage them to do so, but depending on who your customers are, that might not work the same way. So the good way of using generated content is, for example, in your packaging. So if you deliver your product, have a small, very nice word, a customized or handwritten letter. You can just thank them for their purchase. You can tell them, for example, you are contributing to improving the I don't know if you have like a community aspect. You say you're contributing to supporting this community in this way and that way, and this automatically helps people feel engaged and they would share this content, post about it. Another thing could be your branding, your packaging, the way the product is delivered. All of these things will help. Yeah, but most importantly these days is building that relationship with the customer where you don't tell them to post the content, they would post it themselves. I hope that answers. Mm. How, as a brand, we can create a TikTokable content? So I'm assuming you are already on TikTok. It's really is about the video itself. So it could be like embracing the fact that you don't have to post about the product. It's very hard to create a TikTokable content with the product front and center. So depending on who your audience is, you need to create a content that really engages the audience and does not talk about the product. People are less likely to share a content, share anything that is very product centered. So if you want to go viral, or you want to create content that makes an added value, you need to create what we call snackable content. So content that is short, that is engaging, that resonates with your target audience, and not focus on the product. This is very tricky. But if you already, for example, follow brands that you think of as good at creating TikTokable content, then I suggest you see what they're doing and replicate it. Again, it's very hard sometimes to answer these questions if I don't know what brand you have or what product and who is your target audience. So, for example, if your target audience is anyone above 20, then TikTok is not even like a very important platform for you. Okay, so I've answered. Then again, a right client, okay. But for DigiCraft Masters, you said that social media alone can drive traffic without website. It would be great if you tell me where do you want to drive the traffic to? I'm very happy to read your feedback. All right. If there are no more questions, maybe I missed one of them. I will end the poll here. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm really glad that you were able to find this very interesting. And then please, for those of you who are already on the Ecom Connect community, let us know what kind of topics you would like to hear about. We're preparing our strategy or our schedule, sorry, for next month and the next few months. So that would be really good to know from you what you want to learn more about. Sorry, I must have missed your question, Tony. So any tips on how to actively win clients consistently? Yeah, it's a very general question. Which platform are you using? But if I want to answer like this for anything that you do, I think it's about being honest, transparent, authentic. The more authentic you are, the more people will believe you because like there's a lot of scams online. There are a lot of people who are trying to get like one sale, and then they don't care about maintaining this relationship. So being authentic, showing behind the scenes, showing who's working with you, showing how the product is being made, speaking, showing your employees, doing videos that you as a brand owner, talk about your story, what got you to do what you're doing. All of these things that really get through the noise are really very important for you to maintain this authenticity and consistency. And then another thing I would tell you, just don't speak to at people. So don't tell them this is the best product to buy. Make them see why it's the best product to buy. Make them feel like you know them. In a lot of ways, creating content that's not about the product is a lot of relationship building. So imagine, for example, you have that friend. I always use that example. Imagine you have that friend who always talks about him or herself. At some point you're really tired of hearing the same story, and it's not really a friendship anymore because they only talk about themselves and never ask you any question. So it's exactly the same thing we're doing with social media marketing these days, or any online marketing. Buy our product, we are the best. All right, fine, you may be, but this is not how you really build this long-term relationship. This is not how you convince people that you are the best. It's about being there for them as well, and not just exactly like a friendship, and not about just telling them buy this product, buy this product, buy this product. So these are the general tips I would give you that possibly apply to whether you're doing e-commerce or social media marketing or content marketing or any digital marketing. I think I will stop here. There's one more question from Hussein on increasing traffic to Facebook business page. Unfortunately, there's not really much we can do except doing advertising. Even if you have the best content strategy on Facebook, because of the algorithm and the political aspect of maintaining revenue, they rely on ads. So depending on what you want to sell, you might want to have like a landing page or website where you can provide more content without paying ads if you're relying on SEO. But other than that, if it's only about Facebook business, you will have to do advertising. That's it. Sorry for the bad news. All right, thank you, everybody. I'm happy that this was interesting and insightful, and we were able to address a lot of questions. As Elvira mentioned, the recording will be available online in a couple of days, and then you can watch it. And please feel free to let us know what kind of topics you want to hear about in the next 6 months, and then we'll make sure to arrange these sessions. Thank you very much, and have a great week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It is very, very good. Great.